here once again. This is vlog number...
number 26.
26.
26 vlogs.
I know.
When did you come in? Do you remember? Way back in Boucher State Park? I remember that. I don't remember the number of it, though.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little shy coming.
You're a pretty good addition, though.
Oh, well, thanks.
Not bad.
Now,
You're still learning.
You'll keep me around for a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Another 26 years anyway.
Okay, there we go.
God bless you.
Yes. Okay, back to the...
Yeah, back to business.
Okay,
All right.
so here we come into Santa Fe.
National Forest in a campground named
El Porvenir.
something. We don't know the name of it.
It's Porvina, something like that.
Vino?
Porvina.
Somebody
Yeah,
say Vino?
Vino, yes.
Right, so we came up from Las Vegas, not really knowing exactly. We sort of on the map, you can kind of see the little map symbols or little camping symbols, but we have no pictures or no real map of the place once we get here. So we drive up the road, we come in, there's a little bit of a camp circle here. How many sites do you think there are here?
Maybe 8.
8?
Maybe.
8 sites?
Maybe not even.
So we find a site. I don't know. I knew you were going to laugh.
Yes.
So we're coming around. I think, did we go around twice?
Yeah, you always have to go around twice.
You have to go around twice, check them all
where
out.
you want to where you want to
Check
park.
Well, the first cool thing was...
There's only one other person here.
Wait, it gets better.
What's the cool?
The cool thing was we first get here, right? You come up over the cattle guard. Like every state park's got or place to camp's got a cattle guard. Come over the cattle guard, and I see a forestry truck on the side of the road, and I'm like, oh no, maybe the place is closed, because when we were coming in, there was trees all over the place.
Forgot.
So we come in, and this nice forestry guy who we'd meet more than once,
A couple times.
he says, hey guys, if you're interested, we just cut down a lot of trees, and there's some really nice cottonwood over here. Dry, and they had already cut.
Yeah, you guys are good. So we already cut some wood. So I don't know if you guys want to look around. Some of it's kind of green, but some of it's dry.
Okay.
And some of those dry cottonwoods.
Okay.
So you
cut it up into lengths. So all we had to do is split some of the medium stuff, but the rest you just brought armloads anyway. So we drive in, we go around the circle twice, and we spot this one place that's like perfect. I mean, it's big, it's wide open, the solar can do its thing.
For the most part.
Did you see the box?
Yes.
So you saw the box. I didn't really see the box.
And I was like, whew, sweet.
So we sort of pulled ahead. We backed into it. We can't talk too loud because there's other campers here. So we look on the ground, and there's a sign that had fallen over it, and it says Park Host on it. Well, Park Host spots.
Camp host.
Camp host. Camp host are usually the better choice of spots, and in this particular case was the only spot that had electricity.
Right, so we got power, but there's no water anywhere.
There's no water anywhere.
So we're like, we
all right,
back into the spot. We were
get
we're
settled
gonna keep
in.
get settled,
Right.
keep the spot. So, but we want to spend 4 or 5
days here, but we have no water.
But we can't do it without water.
With no water in the trailer.
But when we came in,
right, we passed
a
Christian. It's sort of like a retreat place.
camp.
Right, Christian camp.
That's part of the they're on National Forest property.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are.
Well, could we go camp there then?
No, because it's private for them.
Well, it can't be private
Well,
in
I
National
don't know.
Forest.
So
Make up your
we
mind.
decide that we're going to go up there.
Yep, and ask for water.
See if if we make a donation, will they let
Small
us?
donation.
Yeah, will they let us fill up with water?
Yep.
Because we already scouted it out when we walked up there.
Yep, to the office. We knew that there was a hydrant.
Yep. So we go over. We find the office finally. Nice guy. I can't remember what was his name. Nate. Nate. And he says yes. We can come back up, fill up with water. I give him a $10 donation for it. So we got water.
And you know why it's such a great deal? Because that's holy water, holy water, holy water. So, okay, so we get water, come back to the camp, find out we have 20 gallons. We paid for 20 ounces. That's what you're going to get.
Exactly.
No thunderclaps, so everything was good there. So the rig, backed in the rig again. Then we opened up the kitchen, do our normal camp sprawl.
Yeah.
Got some firewood, cut up a whole bunch of firewood.
It's nice. We've been able to have
Now,
No, we really haven't had fires anywhere since we left Boucher.
Yep.
Because
And
there
that
have been
was
fire bans everywhere, which I'm kind of surprised, though, that they're letting you have a fire in the National Forest there in New Mexico, seeing as all the state parks
don't
in New
let
Mexico, there's a fire ban.
So that's an interesting point to make here between how states view fire restrictions. Sort of like when you're on this property, this is federal land, and they have one set of rules, and then you can literally go down the road here to the state park, not down the road, it's like
But still,
15
no
miles
matter
away.
where.
And they've had the same weather, same everything. They have absolutely, you can't have any fires, and whether they're in the fire rings, the grills, or whatever, because they have fire rings here, cool fire rings. And the guys told us, and we saw the foresters the next day, and they said, you can have a fire, just keep it in the fire ring, not outside. So sometimes you can actually have it outside, in a rock ring or something like that.
So the next morning, we decided to get up, do our stuff, have breakfast, do all that, and decide to take a hike up towards
Hermit's Peak.
Yes.
Now, we never really got to
the
Hermit's
peak.
Peak, but we did hike up through the forest, right out of the campsite, literally up a smaller forest road, and we did a little bushwhacking, and you could always see the Hermit's Peak in the distance, but there's just no, and you're up about 8,000 feet.
Right. But while we were up there as well, we noticed that it looks like they've had either a controlled burn or a forest fire at some point, I don't know, in the last year, 4 years.
Yep.
So, whatever. Back to camp.
Right.
I decide to go to the bathroom, and as I'm going there, there's a fire truck there.
They
and
must
on my
have known
way
she
there,
was gone.
yeah, nice.
Hose her down.
And on the way there, I see 1 or 2 guys outside, and I'm like, hey guys, can I ask you a couple questions? We were up hiking. Has there been a controlled burn or a forest fire? And they're like, oh, actually, we're not really from here. So then there's 1 guy, then there's 2 guys, and then there's 3. There's 4 of them actually that get out of this truck, and they're from Oregon. They were sent here to help the state of New Mexico in case there are any forest fires.
So they're on call here for about 2 weeks.
Right.
And they're federal forest firefighters.
Yep. So I chatted with them for a few minutes or whatnot. And they're like, oh, is that your cool rig down there? And I'm like, yeah, actually it is. I said, you know what? Why don't you go down and see my husband, John?
Right.
I'm going to go to the bathroom. You go down there.
Yeah.
We'll show you all around the rig.
So I'm sitting on the chair doing something. And all of a sudden I look, and there's 4 guys walking down the road. And you just know, you're like, oh, who are these guys? And then one of them said, are you John? Your wife sent us down here to bug you. So we took them through the rig a little bit. And I have to say, this is some of the best times of this experience is the next thing you know, besides showing them the rig, so we won't go through all of that again because that happens all the time. But next thing you know, because they were from Oregon, Yvette gets out the maps of Oregon and starts picking the brain of these poor guys.
No, but
they
it's
love
not,
doing
exactly.
it. Yeah, they love
they're
doing it.
from there. I'm like, you guys, tell us where we need to
Yep.
go. You live there.
Yep.
Tell us the cool
Parts of everything.
Yeah.
So they're pointing out, do you smell weed?
I do, and I thought that I smelled
It's either
weed.
over there or over there. Some serious
Seems like everywhere we go lately, we smell weed.
marijuana.
Yeah, but it's not legal really in this.
New Mexico? But they probably feel like they're safe by association because they're
Could
right
be.
next door to Colorado.
Could be, but I thought I smelled it when I walked
No,
up around the fort.
I've been smelling it while we've been doing the video. So
Well-
anyway, so the guys are all sitting around the picnic table and they're helping her highlight all these
telling me all the
points of
cool.
interest.
Yeah.
And then you start talking about book authors and history, that how, historical, it wasn't historical fiction, historical nonfiction about the areas that, and giving us different book names. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, nice guys.
And then you talk to them a little bit about what they've done, and these are, I swear, their parents just must have this like permanent, proud, beaming, just because they were all just really great guys that were, I don't know how to say it other than to say it's like if I had kids, that's what I mean. And I don't mean it from the firefighter perspective. It's just their demeanor.
Yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
friendly, outgoing. Yeah, just
Right.
really nice guys.
So that was the end of that day. We finally got to figure out how to use the drone when we don't have cellular service. We actually have to start the truck, use the truck as a hotspot, even though the truck's not getting any service. It acts as a router between my phone and the Mavic Pro. So you have to stand near the truck, which is fine. But we got up to take some footage, and I wasn't quite sure if it was legal enough, but I was sort of afraid that we were going to get locked in here in case there was a fire. So that's my excuse.
That you were scouting out our route.
Well, you could take a look at the footage for yourself and tell me that would be an excellent instrument for fire detection in a forest configuration.
Yeah, maybe we could hire you out.
I do have my Part 107 license.
So maybe that's a we
Possibility.
Could hire,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you could you're on call. Who's your on-call Part 107 person and what? Oh,
Right. Can
Rowan
you guys
Stern's
scout it
there,
out?
yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
yeah, it's not just for looking at people's pools.
Yeah, because trust me, we're really not into people watching.
No,
No.
not at all.
Give me some good nature scenes.
Speaking of which, there aren't that many people here. There was total 5 spots filled at the peak, and then Sunday a few of those went away, and
They
now
all went away.
They all went. Yeah, right. There was this moment.
Right. John thought we might have the entire place to
It was
ourselves
Sunday
yesterday.
afternoon, and
No,
we were the
no.
only ones in the park,
Then we had some tent
Yeah.
campers come in.
which they were nice. Yvette went over and interviewed them.
Yes. And then we had this big old rig that came in. I don't know
Yeah,
how it
it's,
got down here.
That's
Two
like
other guys from
yep.
New Mexico.
2 other guys, and then so that's it right now. So it's Monday.
Right.
Yep. So we're probably going to stay here till tomorrow morning, and then we're going to be off. And we're going to head to Santa Fe to get a bunch of errands done. I got to get a prescription filled. We're going to go visit the ranger headquarters.
So we can get some Santa Fe maps because there's a lot of the Santa Fe National Forest out here that we just would like to know a little more about, trails and things
Yep.
like that for other areas that
Yep.
we're going to go.
Yep. And
So
then we need the maps, so we're going to head there, and then we're going to back up into. We're going to do a shower tomorrow at Story Lake. We're going to stop by there and get some water and a shower, and then head to Santa Fe, and then hopefully do the national parks thing. So hopefully we'll be online now. A little bit of housekeeping. And finish up the vlog today.
Yes.
A little bit of housekeeping. Occasionally I will post a video, but I won't share it on Facebook because I don't want you guys to get too saturated. So if you want to see them more often, make sure you get to the YouTube channel down below and subscribe. Also, they are behind a little bit. I try to keep them in sync with the blog posts, but sometimes one gets ahead of the other. What are you going to do?
Right.
But that has more to do with internet accessibility than anything else. And so you got the YouTube channel. You need to go subscribe to that. Then you got the blog itself, which is www.theturtleandthetiger.com. You need to go there and subscribe to that, so I'll have your mailing list. Then you get an automatic notification when we get a new blog post, lots of pretty pictures and cool stories. And I don't think there's anything else.
I think that's about it.
All right, so we miss all of you guys that we knew back in New England, but we don't miss the weather. So
Well, but it is cold here, so
it
don't
is
think
chilly
that.
at night.
Yeah.
It's chilly at night, but the daytimes are
Yeah.
great.
And I have to say that we do have hummingbirds here now.
Yes.
And I know that back home they
Yeah.
should be there about the first week in May.
Great. Now I got to take pictures of those things. Well, she does. She has a feeder.
I got to feed her up because they were in Rye, Colorado last week too. So
Yep. All right.
get your feeders up.
Get your feeders up. Get ready. Don't forget, if you need a solution recipe, this one's got it. You can contact her by yrs531@gmail.com. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.